my first video. So today I'm going to be talking about glitched items. So this is a new channel, and if you subscribe, that would be highly appreciated. Also, while you're on there, might as well drop a like, and if you like this stuff. Alright, so the first glitched item is the banner. So I actually don't happen to have a banner, but there's a popular YouTuber named TimeDeo that actually does have this. So if you look over here, these are null banners. So they don't look like anything special, but they actually are. So if you go to this link right here, you'll be able to. So yeah, now I don't actually have any of these. These are extremely rare and worth a lot. If put in the auction house or your inventory, they'll be deleted, and so it makes sense that they're just sitting here. Alright, so next up we have the null block. Now, the null block it's not too rare. You can find it pretty easily. So you go to hub, and we go to the auction house. If you search up null, as you can see, and if you go to blocks, and let's do lowest price, bin. This is null obsidian, but as you can see, 125k, very cheap, and there is a lot of them. Now, how do you get these blocks? So, these blocks were obtainable 2 times, I'm pretty sure. So for the first time, what you had to do is you would have to take get a pickaxe. You would have to take a day saver. Do I have a night saver? Oh, and a night saver, and basically you would take something like some planks. Oh, and yes, I do have a lot of them. So originally you would put a day saver, a block, and then a night saver. Breaking this block would create a null block, but as you can see, it's just a normal birch wood plank, so that no longer works. But the other glitch, the one that recently came, what you need is a night saver, a torch, a repelling candle. Okay, alright, so for the new glitch that came, what you would have to do is you would take a torch, place it down, then you would break the torch and place a repelling candle. Then you would disconnect from Wi-Fi, break the torch and the candle, place a night saver, and then connect back to Wi-Fi. If you successfully did that, you would pick up the repelling candle, and if you break this, it'll actually turn into a daylight detector. So let me grab some of this. Where is it? Where did I put? Brown mushroom and glass. Glass. Nope, that's showcase block. Oh, glass. Then you would create a night saver, and then you would place it right here. So let me set that to 10 p.m. and basically, for example, I could take a piece of stone, place it down, and this would actually turn into andesite. But as you see, it doesn't. Now, I found that if you set it to midnight and then broke this, it would turn into null stone, which is this. As you can see, this is null stone, and you can activate that by doing F3 plus H. If you do F3 plus H, it'll activate advanced tooltips, so it'll tell you what block it is, and actually I can place this down. As you can see, it's stone, and then now it's null. So that used to work. That glitch no longer works, so it is now not possible to get null blocks. Now, a question you guys might have is, well, why are they null blocks? And the reason for that is, let me place down a day saver just a second. There we go. Alright, so a question a lot of you guys might have is, why are they null blocks in the first place? Now, the reason for that is, there's multiple reasons actually. So, first up, the reason they're called null is because Skyblock doesn't know the identity of the block. So, Skyblock will basically name a block null if it doesn't know its identity. So, that doesn't make sense because clearly Minecraft knows that this is a sponge. It knows these are planks. It knows this is a wooden slab. Now, there's a reason for this. So, for example, let's take some stone. Alright, so here's some stone. So, Minecraft, and every single block in the game actually, has a unique item code. So, for stone, as you can see, it's that hashtag number slash and then another number. So, stone has an item code of 1. So, Minecraft stone doesn't only consist of, well, stone. And so it actually consists of stone, granite, polished granite, andesite, polished andesite, diorite, and polished diorite. Now, I just listed 7 different stone. So the way you know what type of stone it is, so the item code is stone, because it's 0001, which is 1, and the code for stone is 1. I said 1 way too many times. And then the variant is decided by the slash, and then that number. So, stone would be hashtag 0001/1, granite would be 2, polished granite would be 3, and then site diorite, and that would go up to /6. But as you see, there's /9, and that's why it's a null block with this weird texture. So the reason it's null is because it doesn't know the identity of the block, because there is no 9th variant of stone. It only goes up to 6. And so the reason it's null is because this technology does exist, and that's why it has this no texture, because there is no 9th variant of stone. That might be a little bit confusing, but hopefully at least some of you guys will understand it. Alright, so the next item we're going to be talking about is right on over here. It's this, the barrier block. So, barrier blocks, as you know, can only be obtained from using a command. It's not even available in creative mode. Now, I am no admin /op. I don't have permission, so I'm not an admin. And so, how do you get it? Well, I'll show you that. Alright, so, to get a barrier block, first you want to go to the hub. Then, come all the way over here to the librarian. Now, come to the librarian and buy 2 books. I recommend Bane of Arthropods and Smite just because they're the cheapest. They're just 20 coins. So then you want to come over here to the blacksmith and then over here to the anvil. So first you want to go to options, controls, and if you're in 1.8 like me, you'll just have a button right here called touchscreen mode. Now if you're in 1.16, you'll have a button called mouse options. You click that, and then there'll be a mode called touchscreen mode. So you want to turn on touchscreen mode, and then open up the anvil. Now, since this is touchscreen mode, you can't just click it and then drop it. You actually have to drag and drop. Drag and drop. So now you have this anvil. You want to take this anvil, drag it, and drop it in a slot in your inventory. Then you want to take the result of it and drop it. And now, as you can see, you have a barrier. Now, what you do is you go to your island and then just drop it. So now you have, okay, there we go. So, since it's a blacklisted item, it'll actually delete from your inventory because you're not supposed to have barrier blocks. Now, sadly, I actually accidentally, oh, not accidentally, but, oh, I forgot, touchscreen mode. I have my magnetic talisman right here, so I did pick it up, but I recommend taking it out just so you don't actually pick it up. And basically you would drop it, pick it up, drop it, pick it up until you get to item frame, which you would just right click it, and then you would place the barrier block in item frame where it's perfectly fine. So yeah, that's how you get it. It is still possible, which is pretty cool. And yeah, now if you don't drop it, it'll actually be named Anvil, but it's really hard to transport it without having to drop it, pick it up, drop it, pick it up, and then drop it, and just keep repeatedly doing that. Alright, so the next item we're going to be looking at is this, the Null map. Now, the Null map can be taken out, and it's perfectly fine in your inventory. So it's simply just a map that's named Null. Now, this is actually a filled map, which is not supposed to be created. You're not supposed to have filled map. So to get it, I don't know exactly if it's obtainable right now, but at least the way you used to get it was you would get 2 maps, then you would go to the hub, and mainly try to find a hub that doesn't have that many people, and then go somewhere where there isn't a lot of people. So for example, maybe all the way over here, behind the mountain, or something like that. And basically, you would go over there with your maps, and you would start spamming them, like really quickly, jitter clicking, and then eventually you could like split them and spam one of them, and they would turn into filled maps. Now, I don't know if they're possible. From my testing, I couldn't get it to work, so it might not be possible anymore, but yeah, so that's the Null map. It's a full map. You're not supposed to be able to get it. Let me, actually, I'll just sell it because I don't need it. Now, you can get it from the auction house. There are a bunch of them on the auction house. So if we come on over here, and you go to consumables, and make sure you search up Null. So bin, lowest price is 13k for one of them, even cheaper than Null blocks, which is 110,000. And so just like the Null block, the Null map is named Null because it doesn't know the identity, because you're not supposed to have a full filled map. It'll actually turn it into an empty map automatically if you have a full map that isn't named Null. Alright, so the next glitched item, which isn't glitched anymore, is the wet sponge. So the wet sponge could be obtained before. It was glitched, and it was obtainable through the day-night saver glitch, which I showed, where you place like a day saver, night saver, and you would place a sponge. You would break it, and you get a wet sponge. Now you can obtain it simply by just heading over here behind the bank, over to this building over here, which is the builder. Go over here, which is in variety. There you go, wet sponge, 800 coins. It is completely worthless now. Alright, so the next time we're going to be talking about is called Null Obsidian. So if I head over here to this chest, and let me find, here we go. So as you can see, it's obsidian called Null. So to get it, first get yourself some enchanted cobblestone, and you want to create a setup like this. So, actually, let me get a pickaxe. Also, the pickaxe needs to have telekinesis. Alright, so then you want to come back here, and so let me break this. So if I break this, as you can see, it is null obsidian. Alright, so to get it, let me this. Alright, so what you want to do is you want to quickly break this block and spam enchanted cobblestone like down there. Then you want to take that and you just want to break it. So you do have to make sure you have telekinesis. And so as you can see, now I have 2 null blocks. So if I break this again, spam it, then break this. And if you look down at the obsidian in my inventory, it'll increase to 3. Alright, so now it's 3 null obsidian. So yeah, it's pretty simple. And the layout for it is, it's not too complicated. You don't need this block. What you do is you place slab, and diagonally to that you have another slab and another slab, and then you'll put a block here, then place glass like this, and then put lava in here, then put water here. Also make sure you have 2 slabs right here. You can break this block and you'll have this, and then if you spam enchanted cobblestone here, you'll create this obsidian block. Again, break it with with telekinesis, and you'll get yourself some null obsidian. So again, with this, Skyblock doesn't know the identity of this obsidian for some reason. I don't really completely understand why. It's a mystery for me, at least. So then, it's safe to be in your inventory. Alright, so the next glitched item we're going to be talking about is this thing right here. This is a null head. So, again, the reason it's named null along with all the other null blocks is because it doesn't know the identity of the player head. So if you didn't know, things like, for example, if I grab my backpack is actually a player head. Because if you look, the item is Minecraft skull. And so this is a Minecraft skull. So basically, a Minecraft skull defaults to a Steve head. The reason it's called null is because Skyblock doesn't know which skull it is, so it's named null, and since it doesn't know which item it is, it defaults to Steve head. Now, how do you get it? Well, as of right now, you can't get it, but the way you used to be able to get it is you would take things like hunks of ice, you would place them down, you place a bunch of them down, then you would place water, the water would break the head, and you get null heads. Now, if I actually hop on over here, grab a water bucket, place this, as you can see, well, the player head is still here, and it's not broken by water anymore, but it used to break. When you picked it up, it would become a null head. But now, that no longer works, and as you can see, it's still a hunk of ice. Alright, so the next glitched item is, is this. So this is one of the variants. So this is a null bow. As you can see, it's a Minecraft bow. To confirm this, you can actually just do /visit Luckstern and make sure it's the Kiwi profile. The pair profile is my co-op, so make sure it's the Kiwi profile, and you can check this out. This is my little mini museum, and so to confirm that this really is a bow, you have to be in, I'm pretty sure it's 1.14 or above. I'm currently in 1.8, so this just doesn't have any texture, but Mojang changed something which allows you to actually see what it is. But the Null bow, if I grab this, so the Null bow, so if you actually start shooting it, it does become a normal bow, and you can fire it, except no arrow comes out. And I do have arrows in my quiver, and it does recognize that's a bow, and so it shows the quiver arrows. So yeah, there really isn't much to it, and so yeah, that'll just stay there. Now there are two other variants of this block, or item. You have the Null boots, and I'm pretty sure it's the Null fishing rod. Okay, so the next item we're going to be talking about is the Placeable backpack. So if I hop over here, don't want to go over. So I have a large backpack. I try to place it, I can't. It just opens up the GUI. Now, there was a bug that actually allowed you to get placeable backpacks. But yeah, they're backpacks that you can just place down. So now, Super Red Hulk actually has one, but for some reason I can't actually visit them. There literally is no option here for me to do anything. So yeah, so I'm pretty sure Super Red Hulk does have a placeable backpack, but I do not, because only 32 of them exist, so extremely rare. Alright, so the next one is Glitched Ice Bait. Now, I don't have Glitched Ice Bait. Also, it cannot be transported. Basically, it means you can't bring it from a server to another server, so from your island to a hub, it'll disappear, or from the hub to someone else's island, or to your own island, it'll just disappear. So you can't transport it, and I'm not sure who has it, but the glitched ice bait is just ice bait that has uncommon, and that's all is in the tooltip. If I get my ice bait, as you can see, it says uncommon bait, as well as things like fishing bait, consumes on cast, and plus 20% chance to catch winter sea creatures. So yeah, it says all of that, but glitched ice bait will only say uncommon bait. Alright, so the next glitched item is the empty rune. Now, I don't actually have an empty rune, and none of my friends do either, so I actually won't be able to show it to you, except for an image on the screen. But basically, the way you would obtain this is, well, if you went and killed a mob, a runic mob, there's a chance that it would drop the empty rune, and it would drop so many of them that your game would lag and even crash. But then you were able to take them and put them in things like item frames, but I actually don't have one. I'm actually getting all this information off the wiki. I'll put a link in the description below to the wiki page if you want to see the wiki page from where I'm getting all this. Alright, so the next glitched item we're going to be talking about is this thing, the skeleton skull. So the skeleton skull is a glitched item. It might not seem like it, but it is. So, yeah, so to get this, you need to grab an anvil. Oh, also, you want to come here, get 1,000 coins, and you want to come around the bank back to the builder. I talked about him, about the wet sponge, and you want to get yourself a player head. So let me just get an orange. So you want to go to your island. You want to head over here to the island, and you want to grab just any block. So let me grab a cobblestone block. So now what you want to do is you want to take the block, place it down. Then you want to take the orange, or not the orange, but the player head, and place it diagonally like this. Also, you want to get a pickaxe with telekinesis. So now you want to head over to the player head, and you want to stand on the corner of the block. Not the corner of the player head, but the corner of the block. Then, look at it, place the anvil, it'll place it, disappear, and whatever the player head was is now a skeleton skull. Then you can mine this with telekinesis, and you'll get yourself a skeleton skull. So this is a glitched item. It's not obtainable other than just doing that. Alright, so the next glitch item we're going to be talking about is something called the Frosty snowball. So the Frosty snowball is a snowball. Now I actually don't have one, but basically the Frosty snowball would actually be obtained from Frosty the Snow Cannon. So you used to be able to, I'm pretty sure, right click it, and it would open up a GUI, and you could just like take the snowball out. Obviously that no longer works, because if you right click, as you can see, it just shoots a snowball, and left clicking just tells you how many snowballs you have. So actually, let me check the hub, and then go over here to the auction house. Oh yes, there are. So if we look over here, snowball. Here we go, Frosty snowball. So we actually do bin. Lowest price is 1.5 mil for bin, and then auction. Currently, the lowest is 13.2k, but looking at this, it's probably going to go at least up to 1 mil, I'd say. But yeah, so I don't actually have one, but this is what it looks like. It's just named Frosty Snowball. It's a common rarity, and, you know, nothing special. Now, it's not obtainable